And we're live right now. Hey guys, I'm John. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here in Stettler at GT Hydraulic and Bearings, and I'm with the owner.
Hi, I'm Greg.
And I'm here with my big, blue, beautiful Alberta flag showing my support for Alberta independence. And I came here because I heard there's some independent supporters here.
There is. There's one right here.
There's one right here. And he's been so nice enough to open up his business to allow canvassers. And I unplugged my mic right here. What can I say? I'm learning. But I only had it unplugged for about a minute before I realized what I did. Since I have to cut this clip anyway, now is a good time to give you a preview of what's coming in this video. I went inside the shop and met many salt-of-the-earth, hard-working Albertans. If you want to skip to those parts, please look for the chapters in the description, or just sit back and enjoy the show. And thank you to everyone who supports my channel. Your comments encourage me a lot. Let's go. So, you support Alberta independence?
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. You signed the petition?
I haven't yet, no, but the petition's right over there for me.
Well, really what we're doing is saving the part of Canada that the war veterans fought for. Yeah. They didn't fight for Canada, they fought for freedom.
Everybody knows how to hunt, everybody knows how to be out in the bush and to be stealthy, and there's a lot of guns in Alberta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of school, get a job, buy a home, and have a career and carry on. And that's not available so much to our young people anymore.
My concern is that my children and my grandchildren, who's going to cover all this mess? Who's going to cover the debt? And how long is it going to be on them in their taxes? Are they going to up the taxes more and more to cover?
And
I don't want that to happen to my kids and grandkids.
All right, enough of the previews. Let's get into this.
Absolutely no reason we shouldn't be rocking it right now.
Yeah.
Presentation yesterday was talking about LNG coming from Australia up the St. Lawrence Seaway to Quebec or to the Maritimes.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
We have all kinds of LNG here. Why aren't we just shipping it across?
Yeah.
Why are we sending a boat all the way from Australia?
Yeah.
For Canadians to consume? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, God bless the Australians. Good on them for selling their products, right?
Right.
But like, we got this stuff right here, and all the talk that Carney says, buy Canada, but this is like just a slap in the face to Alberta.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're sitting on trillions of cubic feet of natural gas, and we got to get it from Australia. Like what?
Yeah.
Like how much diesel did that boat burn?
Yeah.
You want to talk about climate change? How much diesel did that boat burn?
Yeah.
From Australia to the eastern coast of Canada. It would be crazy.
Yeah. Well, looks like you got a customer here right now. Maybe I'll scare him off, or maybe it'll be a good time for a conversation.
Have maybe a chat with him.
Okay. Well, you invited me to come and talk to people here, so we'll see what happens.
This young fellow looks like he could be interested.
Hey, how's it going? I'm making a video about Alberta independence. What's your thoughts on it?
Wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah? You support Alberta independence? Yeah. Awesome. Hey, can I come on in there, Greg? Or yeah, awesome. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome.
You need some U joints?
Yes, sir.
So like, this is just a regular business in Alberta. And I wanted to come in here and show you what the feel is like in here and see what people's opinions are. And I see Greg is doing some business here, and there's some more people who want to come and talk. But hey, how's it going over there? I see some friendly faces.
Yep, we're all friendly over here.
There's Todd.
Jim's really tall.
Yeah.
So I call him Jim the Giraffe.
Jim the Giraffe.
And he gets a little bit of offended, but he gives it back to me.
Grab him by his long hair when he's showing it.
He tries to give it back to me.
So what do you guys think of Alberta independence?
Oh, please.
Getting excited.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Getting excited?
Getting excited.
Sooner the better.
Like we were just talking out there, we don't need a majority of people to support the, or sorry, we don't need everybody. We just need a majority, right? And so there's people who are against this. What do you say to the people who are in the middle? Those are the ones we need to convince.
Well, if they're in the middle, it's because they need to know both sides.
Yeah.
And it's going to have to be clarified during this referendum on what's going to happen.
Right.
And that's why they're in the middle.
Yeah.
But they should still sign it to get to the referendum.
Right.
Then they have their choice to vote yes or no.
Yeah.
But it's education. Like,
What are you doing sitting behind here? Why aren't you out talking to all these people?
I'm too fat. I'd be all gassed out. I'd be half a block down the street. Then people have to come to me.
Yeah, he can't
That's no
go
good.
anywhere. This guy's important around here. He can't leave the building during work hours.
Who's gonna make coffee?
He goes back for a cigarette and like all hell breaks loose. Everybody wondering where he is, and he's just sitting there having a
The big thing is
smoke.
he's back there half an hour or more.
Well, he might have 2 or 3 smokes,
Yeah, there
instead
you
of just
go.
one.
Well, it's like we need to have a day job too, right? You need to have a job, and we're still working. And then like canvassers are over here as well, collecting signatures, and just so many people are supporting this.
Yeah, everybody's doing what they can from
Yeah.
work. Like a lot of people are pinned down,
Yeah,
of course, and
I
like,
talk to all my customers when I'm out there. I'm a salesman for GT.
yeah.
I talk to all my customers and let them know.
What's the feeling like with your customers?
Everybody's pro.
Yeah,
Everybody's pro. Of course, I do with all farmers and truckers
and the colonies.
and the well, I'm not doing too much with the colonies right now.
You're not anymore.
No.
okay.
That used to be all the only place you went, Jim.
Yeah, I used to do 82 of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
82 Hutterite colonies. So that's an interesting topic. Have you been able to gauge their support at all?
Well, I haven't done them for 2 years.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, and Hutterites kind of they want freedom. I think they got a lot to gain from this, and there's a lot to lose, right? Because Bill C9, have you guys heard about that?
yeah, I've heard too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very pleased about
It'll be interesting to see how they want to pick and choose biblical verses versus the Religious Freedom Act
yeah,
on what is still allowed to be in the Bible.
yeah,
Because my wife is worried about that they're going to go after the Bible. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, they can't, but to them, there are still some things in there that are hate speech.
Yeah.
Speech and
But-
literature. Everything is allowed to be if it's speech and literature.
Well, in a free country, that would be true, but like now there's going to be a chilling effect because people who are like preachers are going to be afraid to preach sermons because maybe there's going to be a complaint, and then they get tied up in years in court. Maybe they even win in the end, but like the punishment is the process, right?
Yeah.
Like of going to court and all that.
Isn't that what happens in like Russia and China? Like when you're out in the street just saying
what'd you find out?
like anything, you should be allowed to say anything anywhere on the planet. You
Yeah.
just can't hurt other people with your fists and your body.
Yeah,
But you can't. The hurting of speech comes from only the receiver.
yeah,
Is as like hateful as speech can get.
yeah,
It's always up to the receiver,
yeah. It's like so
not
you're
the
yeah.
messenger.
Like you're offended. Okay, that's a you problem.
It is.
You know?
No matter
I
what
guess
I
the
say,
If you said something that offended somebody,
Yeah,
go away.
yeah.
yeah, just walk away then, because we're not violent.
But like this is one of the big concerning
Go
things
home.
about the cultural change in Canada, especially in the last 10 years, is that we're afraid to speak now. Like so many people are
So many
self-censoring.
people are afraid to speak. It's worrying me.
Like I think 10 years ago, if you'd have said, "Hey, they're actually going to put a bill forward that's going to potentially make preaching the Bible a criminal offense," or it's going to be the first step towards that, everybody would have said, "No, that'll never happen. Canada's a free country. We got religious freedoms here." But we're actually looking at this right now. Like Carney's putting that in there.
Carney doesn't represent Canada.
Well,
He represents globalism and communism in China.
I'm going to tell you something, but I don't know if it should go on there.
Oh.
But there was
He
a
can
thing
edit it
there was
out
a
if
thing
it's
on
too bad.
There was a thing on Facebook today. It was a picture of a guy, and he says, "I was going to be a liberal, but then I found out I couldn't shut my head up my ass."
I'll leave that one in there. I'll leave that one in there. But that's the
Dude,
sentiment.
you made it. You made it
honestly,
on.
that's the sentiment that so many of us have right now.
Yeah.
Right? Is like the liberals just they keep doing more and more and more to us.
Yeah.
And I've come to the conclusion that they can't govern us. Right? Because they don't represent us. Everything they do is against us.
None of us vote that way.
What?
So how many years do we got to how many years do you expect us to lose?
Yeah.
What government
doesn't
does
seem
Nova
fair.
Scotia have?
I'm pretty sure there are a lot of liberals out there. I don't think there's any
Well,
conservatives.
no. The reason I ask is whoever the premier is there has closed just about all the museums,
Yeah.
and now there's a thing out where people are forbid to go into the woods, like into the forests and stuff, unless
Yeah.
they have a permit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, but that's a provincial government even, right? But like, this is the cultural change that's happening.
You can't
in
do
Canada.
that to me because that's where my
that's
where my reprieve is.
Like,
That's
even
where I
if
get
you
my
own
mental-
the land, even if you own that land, you can't go out onto your own back quarter because like there's.
No, don't be silly.
Yeah.
That's not. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We wherever we may roam, we roam freely.
Yeah, but like culturally, Albertans are much more like freedom minded. We're not these collectivist thinkers. We're just gonna take
like
these
we
rules.
got to go on other people's lands when we're out riding skidoos.
Yeah,
and they don't mind.
Yeah.
As long as we're respectful there. So it's like, yeah, I own the land, but you guys can go on it.
Yeah.
You got a skidoo and you can hunt.
Well, I'm gonna let these guys keep working here. Do you want to say one more thing for the camera before I leave? No, it's so totally cool.
If you think of something, you can always just go find them.
You can always go find me. There's a lot more people here that I want to interview. So, John, you want to come over with me?
Go?
Well, I'll follow
You
you
want to
then.
go custies or do you want to go shop hands?
Let's go shop hands. Let's go talk to the shop hands here.
This is my friend Rondell.
Oh.
You haven't met her yet.
Hey, how's it going?
This is my.
Are you okay if I point the camera at you?
I guess so. I'm pretty camera phobe, I'll tell you that much. But
Well, I'll introduce
my
you to
friend
John.
here
This is my
making me
good-looking
do this.
friend Rondell.
Thank you. That's a good start.
Good introduction. And this is my friend John. He kind of looks like Baloo from the Jungle Book.
Wait a minute. What? big blue.
It's not blue. It's Baloo.
Lots of blue here.
Lots of blue here.
So you support Alberta independence?
I do support Alberta independence, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I support the right to vote.
Yeah.
So, in a couple of the conversations that I've had with Todd in the last couple of days, we've discussed how, it's whether you vote yes or whether you vote no.
Yeah.
Do you not want to continue to have the right to vote? That's a big one for me. So the people
And we're saying how
the
it would
people
be
that
nice
are-
to put this to bed. Like, we need to put it to bed. We need to expose the issues, talk about it, and then we need to make a decision so that it doesn't drag on.
Well, that brings back democracy, right?
'Cause this isn't
if
going
there's-
away.
If there's that big of a charge on it, then
Yeah, it brings back
take a
democracy.
chance, even if you're completely against the separation, for whatever good reasons that a person may feel that they are against it. Do you not want to have the right to vote on it? Like, and as a woman, I was saying to Todd, we only got the right to vote however many years ago.
Yeah.
Really, it's not that far.
Yeah.
So make sure you practice it and exercise it,
Why
ladies.
would I not? Yeah, like why would I not use my right to vote?
Yeah.
Because if we don't, then our right to vote, it's going to be taken away. There will be no voting.
Well, and you touched on something really important here because the opponents to this, they want one of the ways they're trying to shut us down right now is with a court injunction. Get a bunch of Indigenous chiefs who are corrupt, and I know this because I've talked to some Indigenous people
watched
about
your
it.
video.
Yeah,
And she confirmed that.
And then they're just going to shut us down. Like, we're only allowed to vote on approved things. How do you like that? Hey?
Exactly.
That's
what
the state
I'm
of
saying.
Canada right now.
And by saying that the Indigenous, you're right. There's corruption on the higher levels. In the Indigenous community, in our communities, in all communities, in all levels of government. To be quite honest.
Yeah.
So I think where people will attack that it's a racist thing or that, that's not it, because they're
we can't get out from that corruption,
amazing
so we have to
Indigenous
start new.
folks that are for separatists, but because their leaders are now trying to take their right away to vote, that's going to affect them too. That's going to affect all of those families, all of those kids.
My very last video, I just interviewed an Indigenous woman, and she told me that the chiefs are corrupt. The election process on the reserves is not what Canadians think. When we see these chiefs, they are just like corrupt people who don't represent their people. And they don't even live on the reserves.
They're being greedy.
Their pockets are being lined. And like, this is who the media is portraying as the representatives, and they're gonna go and shut us down, saying we can't even vote on this. Like,
they're not actually sharing their money with their people.
No, they live in poverty.
Stop it.
Right? But like, and then so that's gonna take away our right to vote, and it takes it right back there. Like, let's just have a vote on this. Maybe we lose. Maybe there's only like Stettler. Maybe that's the only place that supports this.
Right?
Yeah.
Then,
You're right, but at least let's have the vote.
Finishes off.
Because
You
then
gotta
it brings
finish us
back
off.
the majority to the vote.
Yeah.
And right now we don't have that.
You gotta
was a
get
big
a
thing I
referendum that goes that a clear majority says no
Yeah.
for me to stop pushing for independence.
Yeah.
If there's not a no
Yeah.
vote and there's a yes vote and a little bit of a majority,
Yeah.
then change better happen.
Well, let me push back a little bit here. So, kind of two scenarios here. Imagine we get 51% of the vote.
Then I don't stay quiet. I don't go quiet after
No,
that.
I mean me neither. I'm like, I want independence. That's a majority. I'm not going to give up
And
till
I'm
we get
allowed
it.
to use my voice.
Yeah.
Wherever and whenever I want, and I'm allowed to say whatever and
Hands down.
whatever I want. I
Like-
can even swear.
Like 51%, I expect Alberta to become an independent republic, right? But now at the same time, the 49%, I don't think they're going to just give up. You know, they're going to keep pushing to like cancel it somehow.
No, but let's
But
just.
just
that's
hang
good.
on.
Okay,
Just hang on. So it's like, okay, so what if it's 49% and we lose? But then it's like, I'm not giving up either. I'm going to try to push for another referendum. So I get both sides of this.
Yeah.
But let's say we get like 20%. Then I'm like,
Then we got to be quiet.
yeah. Then I'm like, so
We got to tuck our tail between our legs and make our choices after that. And I'm going to the Dakotas where my ancestry landed on. Oh, and I got to make this correction too, because in every time I get on one of these videos, I keep saying my best Arabian ancestors landed on the West Coast. They didn't. All the Europeans that were fleeing Europe.
Yeah.
Russia basically hit the East Coast.
Yeah.
I meant to
no.
try and find you and to make that correction, but
That's totally cool. I say so many dumb things in these videos that I wish I could correct, but I just go with it.
yeah, it's because we're human.
But like, okay, so that's kind of where I think, like, if we get a majority, so what is do you think 51% would push us over? You think we'd be able to get a republic and hold it and keep it?
I honestly can't speak to that because I don't know. I don't know how that works. Like
No,
actually
he wants to know
on
what
the,
you think.
Yeah.
Like, can you speculate, or can you say what you want if it's 51%?
Because like,
Do you want it to
Oh,
go
I
through
see
if
what
it's
you're saying.
51%?
Because you feel like
He wants to know
oh,
what
I
you
get
want.
what you're saying. Yeah.
What your
because like,
opinion
okay, now
is.
we're kind of asking like a moral question. Like,
Yes, because I understand that it's like, oh, we lost
So-
by 10. Like
okay, so like a
there-
legal
but
question.
There's still these many people that want it.
Yeah.
I think probably in that case, say it was so close like that.
Yeah.
I think that another round, right?
Yeah.
I would think.
Okay.
Because I feel like probably that's too close. Like,
Yeah.
so you're
Yeah.
gonna have so many people then. Like, so say it's 10 people on one side, 10 people on the other.
Yeah.
Right? If you win by only 9 people,
Yeah.
that's one person who wanted it or didn't want it
Yeah.
versus.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I would
don't-
love to see a super majority, but I don't think. Now,
But here's the thing I think about on that too, now that you brought it to my mind, is that I think still, like, there's just so much fear around it. So there's a couple of older gents that I know, and I had actually called one today because the way that he's always talked, and he's very passionate about Canada and the wars that we fought and stuff, but they're pissed off about actually what's happening.
right.
So there's some confusion there with these people on what actually. So for example, people think that by joining the separatist movement that we're saying no to Canada, but really what we're doing is saving the part of Canada that the war veterans fought for.
Yeah.
They didn't fight for Canada; they fought for freedom, and this is a freedom fight. That's what this really is. Like, it's not about. So one of the gentlemen I talked to today, I was very, because he's an elder to me.
Yeah.
And I was very taken back because when I phoned him and asked him, like, would you like to sign the petition? And whether your vote is a yes or whether your vote is a no, and he's told me that he would tell me what he tells all the rest of us. All of a sudden, I'm this us. I'm separate.
Yeah.
That was to go F myself, and I was like, what? Like, I was so taken aback that was.
Yeah.
So it's a fear thing for so many people. So I think, like, in the bringing it back to the majority vote thing, if it was so close like that, I guess maybe then maybe you can take it and run with it and say, okay, we got our majority, we need it. But then what needs to happen is start educating those folks that think
about the benefits.
Well, yeah, like, and if they're so again, like, they need to understand what it is that we are actually standing up for them, you know? There's people, like, that I might not like on a personal level, but I can see their kids. I'm standing up for our kids, for our kids' rights and our freedoms, their freedoms. You know, to be able to earn. Our kids aren't going to own their own homes.
No.
Their skill levels are gone. Like, it's this is about saving. Like, this is so much bigger than even.
Yeah. Well, you said it really good. Like, it's saving what's left.
I have friends all across the country.
Yeah.
I hold dear to me.
Yeah.
Dear to me. I've traveled the whole country by train.
Yeah. Wow.
And spent like the entire country. And I actually did that when I was 19 years old. I traveled to Costa Rica. I backpacked in Costa Rica.
Cool.
And I realized once I went over there, people were asking me questions about my own country that I didn't know the answer to. So I said to myself, I'm not going to go travel out of country again until I travel my own country.
Okay.
So I came back and I went on a train trip across Canada, all the way from BC all the way to Newfoundland. Well, you don't take the train straight to Newfoundland. I think it's Nova Scotia we got off. But anyways, and then took the ferry across to PEI. Yeah. So I've traveled the whole. It's vast land. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. Yeah. We'd like to keep it that way.
I know. It's with a heavy heart that I push. I never thought in a million years I'd be standing for independence. You know, but here we are, because you're right. This is about freedoms.
Yes.
The people who fought for Canada, they fought for freedom.
Yes.
And what we're losing now is our freedom, and people are just attached to a symbol and a name and a map. Yep. Right. But what's left of Canada is a shell of what it was when people fought for it.
And that's the thing. Like, nobody in this is doing this out of a disrespect for our veterans. No,
that's why we are doing it, because we want to withhold what they accomplished.
And with you're very passionate, which is it's an amazing thing. And there's times and places
Everything
for
I
your
do,
passion
I put that into my work
to come to play. But I think sometimes being able to communicate on a level passionately, but from a place of love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I suck at that.
So we're not.
Yeah.
This isn't you against me. This isn't anything. This is us for humanity, for freedom, and it starts with Alberta. We, like that. This is where we have to start.
Well, and I feel like we actually wanted into Canada so bad. My whole life, it's been like Alberta wants in, the West wants in.
Yeah, we want to be a part of the family, and they
we just keep shutting us down,
and
right?
And the basics of it, I'm just learning a lot about all of this. So, but the fact is, in the beginning, we weren't even supposed to be. We were supposed to be what was called the Republic of Buffalo.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be Alberta and Saskatchewan, and
John doesn't like that name.
I'm not convinced on the name of Buffalo. We can argue about that.
I'm just saying, this is an education that I just received.
I didn't know that either, yeah.
So we weren't actually supposed to be. So this goes back a long ways, where they knew that Alberta was going to be the cash cow.
Yeah.
And this has gone on forever. When Alberta was not, we weren't actually supposed to be, the leader at that time was appointed.
Yeah.
And the guy, I wish I knew names right now, but I don't. But the person, the one, I guess he would be Prime Minister at the time of Alberta. He was all for Alberta and Saskatchewan being their own republic.
Yeah.
But it was the Ottawa guys that said no.
Too big.
Because they knew they're.
Oh, that was Louis Riel. He had put up a fight, didn't he, Louis?
No, I'm not going back.
I don't know about
Louis.
But you know another thing, like. Because we weren't even voted in, Alberta didn't vote into Confederation. We were just told. Now Newfoundland, on the other hand, takes us full circle in this conversation. They voted themselves in with 52%. 48% of Newfoundland didn't want to join.
Yeah.
And so now, just put that in your mind, right? Because if 52% can bring Newfoundland in, 52% can bring Alberta out.
Yeah. Okay. See, and that's what I mean. Like, when you're asking me all that stuff, I don't know some of the technicalities of things. So
you don't know that stuff,
No.
Yeah. Hey, one more thing for the camera. I want to keep running around here.
You what?
I got one more thing for the camera. I want to keep running around.
Oh, you run around. Have a great day. bring light and love. Let's do that.
Freedom. Hey, thanks so much for the interview there. I appreciate it.
This is down. This is to the back.
Awesome.
This is over there was the foreman's office, and this is the pump room. This is where he does gearboxes and hydraulic pumps and tests hydraulic pumps and motors.
Yeah.
And then this is some parts and some ready pickups.
Wow.
And to-do stuff.
Just hard-working Albertans here.
There used to be a hoist here, like a 27,000 pound hoist for big trucks, like hydrovac truck even.
Yeah.
Like for PTO installation, hydraulic installation.
Yeah.
And now, like, that's all we really do now is hydraulic installation, hydraulic troubleshoot your problems in a hydraulic system, and rebuild a bunch of hydraulic rams, all your hydraulic hose, adapters, fittings, gearboxes, powertrain, sprockets.
Just like salt of the earth Albertans, like this is what Alberta is all about. We want to get to work.
They're assembling some rams there for Clean Harbors.
Okay.
Pressure testing them, like basically just filling them with oil so they don't get dangerous with airlock.
Yeah.
That's my son Declan.
That's your son over there?
Yeah. We got a junior in training here. He's 13. We're just like trying to get him to hit the ground running when he gets into the trades. He really wants to be a welder.
Yeah.
So, and he's frustrated at school sometimes because he knows, like, he wants to just get at her and they're like doing paperwork or something like that. And welding really isn't like that. You can learn to weld like just by doing it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, welding's a really good career, and we're gonna need a lot of them. I'll tell you, like,
I got them, and that's why he's excited because I'm telling him all about that, and he's just like, well, I think that's what I want to do, like either welding or machining or mechanicking, like something.
Like, I got a degree in accounting and economics, and I'm not doing that. I'll tell you something, right? Like, there's a good career in the oil field. Oil field kind of work is so. Hey, cool, awesome. Well, this looks like a kind of a busy area here. I don't want to take up too much of these guys' space here.
Oh no, don't worry.
Oh, okay, it's okay.
They're all expecting you. They're all just gonna keep working and talking.
Just keep working and talking.
Yeah, feel free to say hi to anybody.
Awesome.
That's Yannick.
Hey, how's it going?
That's Cole.
Good.
That's my son Declan. Please
Oh, hey,
shake hands.
Declan. Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
John.
John, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name's Declan, yeah.
What are you doing over there?
I'm just checking out some stuff that Yannick's working on. I do inventory and stuff like that, but But I used to work back here.
Wow.
Keep in charge of the parts. Like, he's a diverse around here. He can pull wrenches. He can move product, like, because like a lot of the logistical, restocking shelves, parts running.
You know what I feel like right now, and this is kind of a greasy thing, I guess. But you know, like those politicians, they're always taking. I don't feel like a politician, but kind of like they're taking videos and pictures where the guys are all wearing their shiny hard hats and standing in front of a shop.
Ones, the fake videos, pretend to work guys.
Yeah.
No, they're not working in the unions.
I'm like these guys over here are working.
These guys are working.
You know.
We're not a union.
Yeah,
all by the hour.
Well, and you know,
don't
here,
come to work, you don't get paid.
The union guys are going to gain a lot from independence too, and so you know everybody needs a pay cut or a tax cut. But awesome. Well, I want to talk to. Hey,
go say hi to Cole. He's a little redneck.
Hey, Cole, how's it going?
Not so bad, and you?
Good. Remember to lift with your legs. Can I be that safety guy who's just a jerk?
Lift with your knees first, and then when it doesn't work, use your back.
Just twist and turn?
Yeah.
He knows he can take a break to have a shit with you, too. Oh, sorry. Beep.
I'm at 5, and I want to get this painted yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm done at 5.
Never mind, he's not going to take the time to chat. No, he can talk and work, probably.
That's a hydraulic ram for, what is that for?
It would be for somebody's dump truck.
Okay.
It's telescopic, so it comes out like,
really?
It probably extends to about here, actually.
Really? Yeah, that's a telescopic barrel?
Yeah, it's got 4 stages to it.
Yeah, wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
You're a genius.
You see something new every day.
So, you support Alberta independence?
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. You signed the petition?
I haven't yet, no. But the petition's right over there for me.
Right over there. Do it after work,
I'm procrastinating.
No,
Every signature counts right now.
He drives a 2-wheel drive on icy roads with no weight, so it takes him like an hour to get across town. So that's why.
Like I said to Greg, you call me when the revolution starts. I'll be on the front lines for it. We'll make her happen.
Well, this is gonna be a peaceful revolution.
Yeah, for now.
But it's good. Well, it's good to have you on our side when we need something.
Exactly. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Cole built this contraption. It's like so we can have like central air to get to both all around here or even back over there, and it retracts. So that it's nice and easy to retract.
Hey, that's actually pretty slick.
Like we could hook a hydraulic motor up to that reel too if we wanted to, but we'd probably just break a lot of stuff.
That'd be too much.
Too much. Overkill, we call that.
That's too much. Well, so you support independence. What gets you excited about it? What are your thoughts?
Wow. Just lower taxation.
Yeah.
That's all I care about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just lower taxes, because I hate looking at my pay stub every time and you see 33% of it getting taken away. They may call it not all taxes, but anytime the government's taking some from you, it's taxes in my mind. Yeah.
Well, and if you look at your
a little bit of money that they left you.
Yeah.
Right. If you look at your pay stub, you'll see a federal tax portion. And like, just think, independence is like that much more money you get to keep.
Yeah,
exactly. It wouldn't
that's
even be
all,
on there,
and that's
right?
all
No.
it is. Yeah.
Right.
If I wasn't taxed so
Just
much, or at
erase
least
that
if
off
I
your
was
pay
as
stub.
taxed as much as we are,
Yeah.
and you actually got stuff. Like I go to college and you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Which I think it should be paid for, especially a public college like Olds, where it's funded by the taxpayers.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they still take your money.
And then you train up a whole wicked workforce that way.
Yeah.
That's just ready, hits the ground running, making money, and then they're gonna share that with their families.
Yep.
Well, I'm personally not entirely convinced I want like free everything. I kind of want more like
I say, I only want that if we're getting taxed the way we are.
Oh yeah.
You know, for the taxation we have now,
everything should be free.
Everything should be free.
Everything should be paid for.
I don't agree with that method.
Yeah.
Like I agree almost little to none taxation.
Yeah.
Like roads, schools, that's what all you need for taxation.
Yeah.
Single mothers maybe.
Yeah. Well, like I want to see some good value for my taxes, right?
Yeah, exactly. And same, the whole system's screwed.
Yeah.
I'm totally for tearing it down and starting again.
Yeah.
But
well, I feel like we're at that point now. Well, I'll let you get back to work there.
Yeah, I better get a paint on this.
Yeah.
Before I gotta go home. It was nice meeting you, though.
Yeah. Hey, it was nice meeting you too. Yeah. Cheers. All right. Well.
Hell yeah, John, keep it up, man.
Hey, hell yeah.
Love your stuff.
Thank you. I better keep on keeping on here. Guys, there's some more people who want to talk in the office. So I'm going to head over there and talk to them.
Where are you going? Oh, the canvasser.
Yeah, I'm going to go talk to those canvassers.
Hey, try and hit up Kyle on your way. He's the guy in the wheelchair.
Okay, well, I just saw him running around, rolling around here.
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's going to be like at the front counter. He's the parts manager.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome.
I want you to meet Kyle. He's a great guy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. He actually won the, because we're all trap shooters.
Yeah.
And he won the chair.
Oh, really?
Shoot, like Western Canada, maybe even North America.
Okay, well, I'll talk to him about gun rights then.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm sure he's got some opinions on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hey, thanks so much, Todd. You can come find me if you want. I'll be wandering around here, apparently. Okay. Apparently I have free roam around here, guys.
You want me to get the door?
Oh, no, I can get the door. Or, thanks, Todd.
I'm the doorman.
Doorman. Hey. Thanks again. Well, I'm going to keep on keeping on. You want to say something for the camera?
I'm a little shy. It puts on 10 pounds. I don't like that.
Okay.
I'm trying to lose weight.
Okay. Hey, thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
See you later.
You too.
Oh, Todd got me watching your videos and shit, and I'm like, the one thing I really, really liked about your videos is that no matter what people say to you, you don't let them rage bait you.
Oh.
You wish them a happy day.
Yeah.
You know, God bless. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? Showing that you don't have to scream and yell in people's faces to get your point across.
No.
Because when you scream and yell, you have nothing intelligent to say.
That's right.
and that's all you're doing is screaming and yelling. Like, I understand what needs to happen, but don't get me wrong, it breaks my heart that our country's come to the point where we have to possibly tear it apart.
Yeah. Well, we didn't tear it apart. They left us behind. I feel like Alberta's been betrayed. I think all of Canada's been betrayed, but...
Well, like I said, I understand what needs to happen, and we've come to this point, but it still breaks my heart. Yeah. This is a beautiful country. Yeah. The people in it are fantastic. Yeah. Right? You're not going to find anybody in the world like us. Yeah. And it's sad. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. What you said there about rage baiting, I mean, first of all, I've got the upper hand when I'm recording because I got an audience of tens of thousands of people watching these videos. Mm-hmm. Not to be brag or anything, it's just if one person's swearing at me, I'm putting myself out to be a jerk. Right, which I don't want to do that, right? But then they're the ones making themselves look bad. They yell at me. It's like one person on the street corner, you know. But then all audience can see that, and make their decision about what side they want to be on. You want to be on the side that's screaming or screaming? People are just going, oh fuck, click. Yeah. And they just shut it off.
Yeah, it's just all shut off. Yeah. Well, and I also hope to lead by example, right? Like, a lot of people in this independence movement are watching my channel now, and they're seeing, and the people in the middle. And they're seeing, hey, look, there's one side that's polite and courteous, and we're sincerely trying to have a conversation that's reasonable with good arguments. And there's another side that just gets angry. You know, they want to take away our right to vote, and then they just call us a bunch of names and like pick a side. You know, to the people in the middle, pick a side. What side do you want to be on? You know,
I want to be on a side that, you know, I would like to see a bigger paycheck. Yeah. You know, it's nice they've stopped the carbon tax. But what about the ones they've already put in? Well, they need to go back and get rid of it.
There's still an industrial carbon tax. So it's the same thing. They just changed the name.
I want to have the right to defend my home without prosecution and protect my family. Yeah. You know, it's not a lot what people want.
Yeah. Yeah, you touched on another big issue there, right? It's like we don't have the right to defend our homes. We don't have the right to do that. People break in, we're supposed to leave the keys by the door. You know, that's what the cops
I was just in court today dealing with a guy that threatened to murder me and my son. Jeez. And slash the tires on my truck. Jeez. And this guy is a hardcore alcoholic. He's been in the drunk tank I don't know how many times. Yeah. And his sentence today was 7 days in jail, 18 months probation, and to pay me $900 restitution. So
that's unreal.
Is fantastic. Yeah. You know. Yeah. It's just...
And it's so frustrating. It's like Canadians all across Canada, we should be thinking the same thing. Like, our laws are only serving the criminals. And now especially, like, the guns are getting taken away from us. And the criminals are still going to have a gun. They're still going to be armed. And then what are we supposed to how are we supposed to feel about this? You know, we're the criminals, and they're the ones getting let off. We're the ones who are going to get punished really hard for it, you know?
Like, there's a lot of things that I believe that would make us a better country. You look at some of the countries that insist that their 18-year-olds serve. Yeah. Look at their crime rates.
Oh, yeah.
You're taking an 18-year-old kid that's got no drive. He's a moron. Yeah. And it's easier to break the law. But when you instill honor, pride, brotherhood, his drive changes. Yeah. He becomes somebody in society.
So would you be in favor then of like mandatory like 6 months or a year of service? 2 years of service?
2 years of service. Plus it'll also give you a direction on what you want to do with your life. Maybe you want to be a soldier. Maybe you want to go to university. Yeah. The military will teach you these tools.
Plus it's like really good skills learning, like training, like all the things you learn, how to fix things and how to, you know, do all kinds of things, and good physical exercise and
how do you
civics.
Train out your kids nowadays? You feared or you respected your parents? Yeah. And now you don't have to fear them, and they don't respect you. Yeah. But they'll respect the drill sergeant who will beat it into them, and they will learn it the hard way. Yeah. About respect and honor.
And, you know, the thing that excites me the most about Alberta independence is we're having these types of conversations. We're imagining what our country could be like. And I'm sure there's a lot of Albertans who don't want to have mandatory conscription. But there's a lot that do, and just the fact that we're talking about this, it's a possibility. We can create the country that meets our values, that meets our needs, that serves what's good for us.
The other thing is that if you are a 10-year veteran of the service, number one, thank you. Yeah. They have fought and died to give these people the right to run around being unicorns and to do whatever the hell they want being retarded. They've given you that freedom and right. Yeah. They shouldn't have to pay for anything. Yeah. Okay. No medical, no dental. Yeah. Nothing. You serve 5 years, you get 50% coverage. Yeah. You have a job that has benefits, you're free also. Yeah. Our veterans are what built this country. Yeah. And we treat them like crap.
Yeah. Well, and like Trudeau says, there's not enough money for the veterans. But then some veterans come and they say that
video of that guy who lost his leg, big stocky dude, and Trudeau stood there right there and said,
right to his face,
we can't do anything else. Like we're tapped out. We can't help you anymore. And it's like, how?
What a slap in the face, eh?
Yeah, like, but I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like a lot of veterans right now, or people who are enlisted, serving in the Canadian military, they come up and they say, well, look, don't, we fought for this country. We're not going to turn on it, right? But we want to take care of you. We want to actually have policies like you just mentioned, where it's like, if you get hurt, you're taken care of for life. If you serve a certain amount of time, you're actually going to get benefits, and you're going to be like well taken care of and respected. And right now, tell me, if you're a soldier watching this video, like, do you think Canada is respecting you the way that you respect the symbol of Canada, the flag?
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Right. Like, my whole family has been military. Pretty much just about everybody in my family except for my generation.
Wow.
And they've all fought and served, and what do they get?
Yeah. Yeah.
They have to go on welfare.
Yeah.
It's like, they can't afford glasses, they can't afford to eat, they can't afford to have a place to live.
Yeah.
It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. It's an embarrassment. And a part of me is like, you know what? An Alberta Armed Forces would probably be the most well-armed. We'd be like integrated completely with the United States, the most modern hardware, best training, really take care. Like, we can afford it, and we're going to do it.
There's not a farm around that doesn't have all that.
Well, yeah,
Everybody knows how to hunt. Everybody knows how to be out in the bush and to be stealthy. And there's a lot of guns in Alberta.
Yeah.
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 A lot of guns. Legal guns, too.
Yeah.
I'm proud to have all my guns registered and all that.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
If they say you can have handguns back, but you got to get a criminal record check once a year, okay.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah.
I would jump through a hoop to get my dad's service firearm when he dies, but no, that thing's going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
It's a 50-year-old gun, and I'm never going to be able to have it. It's going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
And I would love to have my dad's firearm.
It's a serious shame. A lot of hey, thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome. Really appreciate it. It's a shame, and you're touching on so many good topics here, right? Like there's collectible value to some of these guns that are getting taken away, and you can't replace that. Like, it's actually really sad. To have a piece like that. That there's a lot of people feel like that. The only way you're going to get to keep your guns, if you live in Alberta, and I would add Saskatchewan soon, is if you vote for independence. On October 19th, we're going to have the referendum, if everything goes the way it's planned. October 30th is the day you got to turn in everything. Now, the handguns aren't still on that list, but that's coming. I guarantee 5 years from now, they're going to put handguns. They're taking them away.
I see about 30,000 home invasions being reported, and all their handguns were stolen. That's what I see coming.
Yeah, okay, like, look, I like to indulge in saying, like, the boat accident kind of thing, but I think at the end of the day, I think a lot of people will just keep them, and then over 20 or 30 or 40 years, there's just going to be random house fires and police interactions and neighbors ratting you out, and one day you were drinking a little too much, so you ran your mouth, your neighbor heard you, you get called in, and they're just going to start slowly picking them off and putting them in jail, and it's just going to be a serious travesty. Like, these people didn't really commit a crime other than the fact that they had a prohibited gun that they were allowed to own originally, and the government just changed it without any democratic process, and that's going to be the only thing against them. I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too.
Yeah, people like their right to be able to defend themselves. People love to hunt.
Yeah.
This is a hunting. Alberta's got fantastic hunting.
Yeah.
And at the price of beef and the price of everything going up.
Yeah.
I eat 90% wild game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm licking my lips right now. But hey, thanks so much. I really appreciate the talking points here. One more thing, I guess, the second time. Oh, there we go. You look. Holy crap. Is that your house?
That's the man cave.
Wow. Okay. Like here's the thing. People talk about Albertans not having a culture. Right there is our culture. We love hunting, we love fishing, we love outdoor activities. Apparently we love pool, and what else do we love?
Drinking.
But not all at the same time, and not in that order. Time. Yeah. No. And we're respectable, law-abiding citizens. Like, everything we want to do here is just follow the law. We just want to be able to hunt to like cheaper meat, you know. And they're telling us that, well, a lot of people use these newly restricted or newly prohibited guns. A lot of them are actually hunting rifles, and yeah, there's options, but to go and buy another rifle is a really expensive thing, and they're not even paying us for it. Like, everything about this is wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
And this one's decommissioned. This one's trigger locked, and that's just a pellet gun.
Fair enough.
You got to still stay in the law, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people don't know this, but like non-restricted firearms, you don't actually need to have them locked up. You don't need to have a trigger lock. Am I correct about this? Like, you just need to have them kind of in a secured, out of the sight kind of place.
When you have kids, you take all the precautions.
You go above and beyond the law.
Above and beyond when you have children.
Yeah. But like, you could just take the bolt out of those things and hang them on the wall, and that would be considered secured.
Yeah.
Right.
As long as it's also in a locked room.
Well,
and this is a locked room.
But you could just take the bolt out and lean it up against the side of the wall, couldn't you? Like,
you could, but they still don't want firearms just openly exposed, like displayed.
Yeah. So I mean, just take some common sense. Awesome.
There's 3 ladies over there.
Okay,
I want to talk to you.
Well, let's go talk
to them.
Let's go talk to the 3 ladies.
They're getting impatient.
Hey, thanks so much.
They want to go home.
Oh, they want to go home.
Yeah. So
okay.
We better engage them before.
Okay.
Well, there's another one here that we probably want to talk to you. There she goes. She's running away.
Well, I have that effect on people. I don't know why people want to run away from me.
Second door to the left there, John.
Okay.
Up the ramp.
Okay, thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, guys, there's a lot of different opinions here on different things, but it's nice to come and just check out. Like, this is an average shop in Alberta, just a welding shop, bearings and hydraulics that they're fixing. And you'll see shops like this. There's probably 100,000 of them all across Alberta. This is what we are. And I think if other people in Canada watch this, like, this is our culture. This is what we want to protect. Okay, let's go inside here. Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How about you?
It's a good time to come in.
Sure.
I was told to come back over.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, I would start with Clay.
Clay? Awesome. Hey, Clay.
How's it going?
Hey, working hard or hardly working?
Yes, both. Yeah, I'll take 100 phone calls a day in here.
Yeah.
So it keeps me going.
Wow. So you just run the bearings sales or customers or client list?
Customers, and I'll get gentlemen calling in about ag equipment looking for a particular hydraulic pump or parts, and so that's what we do all day long. Kind of solve issues for our customers. So.
Yeah. Wow. Has business been steady or going up or slowing down like over the last couple of years, or what have you noticed?
Our business has been growing slightly over the last, I've been here 15 years, so I've seen a pretty significant increase from 15 years ago till now.
Yeah.
And it's seasonal, it kind of comes and goes, and as agriculture goes good or as oil field goes bad, it fluctuates.
Okay.
We do enough different things that we always got stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, Stettler's a pretty diversified little community here, right? It's not dependent on just one industry. There's lots of different things here. So have you noticed the town as well? Like, is the town booming or growing or shrinking, or what's going on here?
Well, it's growing. Since I've been here, I was originally here quite a while ago, then I was away for a while and then came back, and it's grown significantly. Not like we see some of the big cities with the mass immigration. Yeah. But our population's grown. We're probably up 20% over the last few years. So it's good to see.
Well, and you bring up mass immigration. That's a pretty hot topic for Alberta independence. You want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of unhappy people when it comes to that. I've got young adult children. Yeah. And how do I buy a home, Dad? How do I make this happen? I can't afford what's available. And so it's put a lot of people in a position that that I grew up privileged in sort of the golden era of get out of school, get a job, buy a home, and have a career. and carry on, and that's not available so much to our young people anymore.
Why do you think we switched away from our previous immigration system where it was like points and we let people in come and steady? Why are we just opening the doors now? What do you think?
I mean, personal opinion is I think the people in authority are looking for a way to ensure that they get back into power ongoing. And if somebody invites a friend into their house or somebody into their country with the promise of untold riches, why wouldn't they support that person? So I think that's what's happening a lot of the time.
Well, and it's interesting. So I know a lot of immigrants, and a lot of them actually support independence, which is so weird. Like once they're Canadian, they're like permanent resident even, they're just like 100% in favor of independence because they come from countries that are like just a few steps ahead of where they see Canada going. It's kind of an ironic thing. So it's like maybe the plan will backfire and they'll be like, a lot of the immigrants will actually start voting a different way.
I know several have even come in here to sign up, and many of them don't have their full paperwork yet, so they're not a Canadian citizen. But they're saying, I wish I could sign this. We need to make sure that we end some of these processes and we get Alberta to be a sovereign, independent nation. Because that's what draw them to this country over the last. Well, I mean, my family's immigrant. We came from Ireland many years ago. And there's the promise of freedom and the promise of hope and the promise of success. Is what drew us here, and that's dwindling. That's being made less available to us all the time.
And it's so funny because like they come here hoping for that, and then a lot of immigrants are seeing that actually this isn't the situation. This isn't the land of milk and honey like they were sold, and then I don't know, maybe they leave, maybe, but
well, I mean, I have friends from Mexico that would sort of have tried hard to become citizens, and now they're kind of going, maybe I shouldn't. I don't like what I see happening. Because they came to Canada based on the reputation that Canada had in Mexico and other parts of the world, and they're getting here and finding out that maybe the reputation isn't quite accurate compared to what they're experiencing.
Right. Now it's like there's an accusation that people in the independence movement are just anti-immigrant, and I don't think that's true either. And then they call us racist for pointing this out, right? And just to kind of shut the conversation down. It's like we don't want mass uncontrolled immigration. Just everybody comes here and just you just have the right to be here, but it's like have a quota system like we used to. That worked really well,
I think we're a small population for a very large country. We'd be hooped if we didn't have some form of immigration to fill the needs. Doctors, all of our doctors in town are not from here.
South African,
lots of them, different parts of Africa. Please come, we need your help. But they came with something to offer, and they came willing to contribute to our society. And I don't see that with a lot of the people that come here. They're just here for a free ride in the gravy train. And I think that's what, I don't think anybody is anti-immigrant. I think they're anti-abuser of our system.
Yeah, and it's not fair to the other immigrants who are actually waiting in the line properly, And then also there's the issue of compatibility. When I was in Calgary, I was making a video like this, and a bunch of Hamas people came by. And you know how they are, right? They're just shouting like death to Canada and death to Israel and death to the United States. And it's like, great. How many of those are actually Canadians? And like if they are, then I guess that's one thing. But then if you come to this country, you gotta become Canadian or become Albertan. That's gonna be the next thing here. Because like if you don't love this country, why are you here?
And that's what I've said for years is why would you leave your country in all the political, whatever kind of turmoil is there, to come here and then try to turn our country into your country, because your country wasn't good. So why to try to make our country like your country? So I just don't understand that mentality.
Like, just leave it. Well, you said you're Irish, right? So Ireland had some pretty big conflicts, right? Catholics and the Protestants, and
lots of conflict between lots of different groups.
But like your ancestors left that behind. And they came out here and they're like, we want to have peace, and we want to just like get along and have a new life and be economically prosperous and live the way we want to live. And they didn't bring it over here. I don't remember Irish people fighting over here.
No, it was come to Canada and how do we succeed here? How do we, my great-grandparents on my mother's side came from England.
Yeah.
They came for the good life. And she died, first winter here, she died up in northern Alberta from the conditions. But they carried on. They recognized there's an opportunity and they wanted to live it. It wasn't about the area they were at. There was a large native population.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Did you film the girls?
I'm just making my way over there.
Okay.
They didn't leave that area because of the native population there. They stayed, and that became 100 years of our family history in that area.
Yeah.
As immigrants.
Yeah. So for me, it's just like there is a sustainable number of immigration, and we need it. It's good. It's just two issues. It's like it's gotta want to be in this country and adopt our values, and join our culture, and we can't let everybody in all at once. I think that's totally reasonable. Tell me I'm not reasonable.
Yeah. No, I agree. I've got a friend of mine who is he's a lawyer, he's a politician, and he said this whole process is not about immigration, it's not about deciding to leave Canada. Yeah. It's about a values call. What's the values process, and what values do we stand for, and what values does our country and our province stand for? Let's make it a values discussion. That's where he comes from. Yeah. And I agree.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thanks, Cliff, right? Yeah, Clay. Thanks. Or Clay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
One more thing for the camera.
Sure.
What do you want to say?
I would love to invite, and I'm not sure how many of our Hutterites, Amish, Mennonite people watch your program. I hope lots. I would like to invite them to become hands-on involved in this process. This is about an opportunity for democracy, which is why many of those populations came to Canada, because they were being discriminated against, and they came here, and it's happening again. Here's a chance to vocalize that you're not willing to accept the kind of discrimination that's coming your way, and let's stand up and get involved.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That was a good conversation. Yeah. Have a great day. Take care.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Hey everybody, I finally made it over here. Who wants to be in the do you want to be on the camera?
Yeah, we all will.
All right, I'm going to lean this up right here.
We decided we'd tag team.
None of us wanted to do it alone.
Well, I'll just sit because I'm kind of getting tired. Yeah. So
well, that's okay. Totally.
You guys support Alberta independence?
Of course we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, you're canvassing. Okay, all the paperwork is okay. Good.
Yes, it's covered. It's put away.
Yeah. Well, I got a chance to meet everybody in the shop, and I was just thinking, like, this is just a down-home kind of salt-of-the-earth place. People are working, and this is what Alberta is all about. It really represents our culture here in this little office here. So tell me, what are your thoughts about Alberta independence? Tell me.
Well, I think the most important thing for people to know is that we have never had our voices heard. Like, we have never, in all the time that I voted, my vote has never counted. Yeah. Because Ontario, by the time our polls are closing at 8 o'clock, 5 minutes later, they're announcing. Yeah. And so, this is the way for Albertans to truly exercise their freedom of speech. Yeah. And whether they're for independence or not, signing this petition gives them a way to have the referendum so that their votes will count. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it really well there. Like, this will be the first time in Canadian history when an Albertan's vote will count for something. And oh boy, is it going to be a big one.
Well, it's history making. Every one of us should be part of this history. Yeah. We all need to just get involved. Yeah. And not only get involved by signing, but get informed. Yeah. You have until October, until the referendum. Yeah. These girls and I were talking, right? And they started canvassing before I did. Yeah. They've been involved longer than I have. And in the last month, my eyes have been opened so much.
Yeah.
By speaking to these ladies and to the people that come in.
Yeah.
We're talking about, I mean, I know more about the Constitution than, since.
Constitution and history. It's like, I found the same thing. I'm getting more informed. More people are starting to understand things, our history, our culture.
Well, and the more
laws.
you look into it, the more you research.
Yeah.
You're continuing to learn. Because it's just an uphill grade, right?
Yeah.
What we learned in history back in high school, junior high, right?
They taught us other countries, not our own country.
More so, yes.
So I think that has a big part of it, is that we're not educating our kids on what they need to know so that they can grow and become something.
Right.
Have something to look forward to, or a future.
Yeah.
And a choice.
Right. Well, and this whole process has been learning curve, right? We're forcing ourselves to think through all of this, and that's really encouraging, because we shouldn't make this decision lightly. No. It's not just an angry, we're pissed off at Quebec or something. It's like, here's 500 reasons why, and we all need to understand them as best we possibly can.
And one of the other canvassers, what he's always said when he came across somebody saying, no, I'm not for it, is give me one good reason why we should stay.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, now I gotta think.
Okay.
Yeah, but
what have you heard for
that? Then people say, cause Trump, I hate Trump.
Oh.
Okay, but that's not a good enough reason. This is Canada.
Yeah.
This is not America. Yeah. Trump might have a little voice, but he has no rights. This is our choice, our rights. Now this is only like to say one way or another to give us a voice. It's not an actual vote right now. It's a petition.
Right.
We need the petitions in just so that we can say, hey, we deserve the right to be heard too.
Well, it's funny you say Trump. Like, that's that argument to me goes nowhere, but it sells so many people. Have you heard anything else that's getting any other arguments?
Those are the only arguments that I've heard. Well, Trump. Well,
like,
I think they're the status quo is more comfortable than the unknown.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, my dad's family came to Boston in 1631.
Yeah.
Do you think they were guaranteed anything?
No.
And they weren't given anything. They, I mean, there was nothing here for them except freedom.
Freedom.
And most of them were coming because they wanted the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom to make their own history.
Yeah.
And here we are. It's time to do it. It's time for Albertans to be heard.
I'm really proud of the people that have stepped up
Yeah.
and informed themselves and have gotten in here to sign, or wherever they've been.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
It's time for making a voice
Yeah.
for our province, even if we just represented everybody in Canada, you know, step
Yeah.
up to the plate,
Yeah.
make a decision,
Yeah.
you know, that might benefit our country instead of squish it.
Yeah. I'm really proud of them too. You were talking about freedoms. Right? A lot of Canadians think we have freedoms just like Americans do. Right? We're like,
No, we don't.
We don't have freedoms.
They let us think we do until you cross the line, and then they push you back. So.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I learned was how Pierre Elliott Trudeau
Yeah.
wish-washed our charter
Yeah.
freedoms in 1982.
Yeah.
We had more guaranteed freedoms
Yeah. Before.
from the B&A Act
Yeah.
than we did once he did.
Yeah.
He moved us from a Judeo-Christian society to a more civic, multicultural society, which allows minority to have a stronger voice, which, you know, unfortunately...
But like, so, okay, for example, our rights, the very first clause in our Charter of Rights and Freedoms basically gives the power to the government to undo all the other rights.
Yes.
If they deem it necessary, for whatever reason they think, politicians can just take them away.
They decide when they decide.
Yeah. And we just saw them use that power in a really notable way, and wait till the next time.
C9. They just stopped. They censored the discussion on the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion.
Yeah.
And they're giving themselves the power of kings.
Yeah.
And us little folks are just supposed to walk along and just be happy that we're giving half of our paycheck to them.
Yeah. Because the Canadian maple leaf is big and beautiful, and the map of Canada is really cool, and we're bigger and better together. Just go along with everything, nothing to see here.
We were all born here. This is our home. We're all natives to this land.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone is above anyone. We're all in it together.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have a choice, even when we are together.
Yeah.
Votes counted. They've decided.
Yeah.
And I think it just needs to be leveled out a little bit.
Yeah.
We're better together. But as long as both sides balance, it can't be all one side forever to support someone else's life.
The Constitution that was adopted in 1905, right? 1905. In 1904, Sifton. Sifton, right? Anyway, he said in such a way that we became a colony. We were colonized. We were just annexed to Canada,
we weren't even
right?
voted in, yeah.
We didn't have a vote or anything. We were just shoved in.
Yeah.
And there is a quote, and I can't remember it exactly, but it's something like, "We will take the resources from the West to build the East."
Yeah.
And they're going to be happy just to do that. And the Constitution is working the way it's designed.
Yeah.
Because it's building up the East, and it doesn't matter what the West wants.
Yeah.
Our judges, our Supreme Court judges, our equalization.
Everything is appointed.
Yes.
There is no democracy when everything is appointed.
Yeah.
Right from our first prime minister, it was appointed to us after we were all colonized.
Yeah. Well, and then to put that in perspective, I learned that Newfoundland voted 52% to join. And so if 52% can bring Newfoundland in, 52% can bring Alberta out. 51% could.
Exactly.
Right? But we weren't even brought in with a vote. We were just annexed in. You're right.
Exactly. And the Constitution, Quebec never signed it.
No.
So and they have a veto.
Yeah.
So.
And they get all the money.
And they get all of the vast majority of the
I think a lot of it is they don't have to claim any of their hydroelectric.
Their resources.
Their resources. They're using the water.
Yeah.
So they don't have to claim any of that. That is money that's all directed into their pocket. They look like a have-not province. Why? Because they don't have to claim it. But I think the equalization isn't very equal anymore, and it's not working for a lot of people. So I think we need to break it down and come to something that works for both sides of Canada.
My concern is that my children and my grandchildren, who's going to cover all this mess? Who's going to cover the debt? And how long is it going to be on them in their taxes? Are they going to up the taxes more and more to cover?
And
I don't want that to happen to my kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
So that's why I can do this. I can be a canvasser. That's about as good as it gets.
Well, and that's a huge service too, right? Thank you so much for what you're doing here.
No problem.
I think the thing is that
it's our home. We want it to continue. We don't want everything to be stripped away from us.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice but to stand up.
Right.
If we don't, what happens?
Well, we just get pushed over. I want to push back a little bit. So I've heard another argument to stay in Canada, and it's something like, we can still fix it. What do you think about that? Can Canada? What if they opened up the Constitution and here, Alberta, we're going to fix things and just please stay? What would you say to that?
The thing is what is the process to open up the Constitution?
Nobody's been able to do it.
it's not going to pass because number one, we get our voices heard, right? Okay, but then it has to be voted through with the MPs. What has Carney just done? He's got a crossing the floor majority now. It's not going to pass.
You need 7 out of 10 provinces to agree.
7 out of 10 provinces to agree. That's not going to happen. How about the Senate? It has to go through the Senate. 75.
They're all appointed.
They're all appointed by the
elected,
Liberal Party,
so
except for a handful. It's not going to happen. The Constitution will not be opened. The only way we can get the Constitution opened is to do a referendum and then have our voices heard so that we can start negotiating. We may,
well,
there is always
open to negotiation. Leave it on the table. See what works for the majority of the people.
That's exactly.
Because it might work really good one way for the West. And it's not so great for the East. But the way it is, it's designed to work for the East and to take from the West. Maybe in the 1900s that was okay because everybody lived. But they are spread out. There are so many of us. I think it needs to be a level playing field.
Exactly. So the negotiations first and foremost is we get the petition signed so we can get a referendum. Then we get the 50 plus 1 so that the referendum.
I'm so glad you said that. We were talking about that in the other room.
The 50 plus 1 for the referendum so that we.
All right, so the battery died. I'm really sorry about that. These GoPro batteries overheat. You can even see it kind of expanded a little bit there.
Oh my.
GoPro's got to fix that. I think they did. I got the older one, so.
Okay, so
let's continue.
We're talking about the process of the petition to the referendum with the 50 plus 1. Then Alberta would be notified, whatever, announced as a sovereign state. Then we would go on to, with Canada, with the Canadian government, negotiations. Now, the negotiations could be, if it could be all it takes, and maybe we would be a sovereign state within the country of Canada. But there's a lot of hurdles between that and where.
So my personal opinion, if we do all this work and we end up still stuck in Canada, even just as a sovereign, whatever that means, I'm not happy. I want our own country completely, 100%.
100%. She was saying how she's working for her children and her grandchildren. And when I was 28, my husband and I bought our own place, our own house. And we knew that was going to be our home and it was ours. My children don't have an opportunity to do that. And at any point in time, with all the loss of freedoms, look what happened in Vancouver. All of a sudden, there's a land grab. We could lose our land. All of a sudden, our property deeds would be a blank piece of paper. And we're gone.
It seems really far-fetched, but it isn't.
It's not.
That's happening in Vancouver.
It's foreshadowing. Vancouver is a foreshadow of what could happen here.
Well, no, I'll push back on that. A lot of people would say, well, look, they don't have ceded land, right? Like we do here in Alberta. The treaties protect us from that. But I don't believe that. If they're going to do what they're doing in Vancouver, there is just a couple of strokes of the pen. They'll find some legal way to screw us over here and give all the land back, or whatever. People are actually saying give the land back here too.
There is, now, if I remember right, it's Aristotle. And it is the steps to tyranny. And if you check those steps to tyranny out,
we're there.
We're living it.
Do you remember what those steps to tyranny are? Because I've never heard this before.
A lot of them are what we've gone through, like Venezuela went through. The loss of freedoms, the making the populace feel less powerful,
afraid.
Yeah, the fear mongering. That I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I don't want to put you on the spot because I'm going to look into that though.
Yes,
Aristotle's. Okay, well that's interesting, but yeah, I think if we do all the work and then all we get is like still stuck in Canada, I'll be really unhappy.
To go through all of what we are going,
we
for
have
a better
to be.
future,
Yeah.
for our kids and grandchildren.
Yeah.
I don't think that we could settle halfway.
Yeah.
We'll own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening. I can't see my kids being happy without having their own.
They're doing the 15-minute cities. That is a foreshadowing of basically control and controlled camps.
Yeah.
You know, like we will be nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing
Well,
compared to our pioneer ancestors.
Yeah.
We will be nothing and have nothing.
I just want to bring it back to Trump actually. So I'm actually working for the NDP right now, and I'm supposed to find out how much you guys are getting paid to be doing all of this. So
we are volunteers.
Yeah.
In fact, if I was at my work site gathering any signatures, I would have to be on a coffee break or a lunch break. I am not allowed to accept a coffee from anybody. Any appearance of
sponsorship or support
in any way, shape, or form is not allowed. We are volunteers.
Okay.
It's for the people.
It's for the people.
Yeah.
It's for our
families,
people.
It's a freebie.
It's a freebie.
Communities, our neighborhoods, our churches, our everything here.
It's our neighbors.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you could charge for something like that. We're all in it together.
When you believe in something, you do it for free.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I agree. I mean, I'm doing this originally for free as well. Some people have donated to my channel, and I do get a little bit of ad revenue, like a little bit of that. But I mean, I'm not doing this because I want to. I got to buy myself a new battery, guys, maybe. But like, I do believe that, and I started this channel because I just sitting on my couch watching YouTube, not doing anything, and then this independent thing popped up. And I'm like, this is now or never.
Mm-hmm.
I better do everything I possibly can. I'm like, I already got all this camera gear because I was doing other stuff with my life for fun. Like, let's do something. Yeah, something meaningful.
Something you can make a difference.
Yeah.
Something you can be proud of.
Yeah.
And be a part of. We are actually a part of history right now.
Oh, yeah.
We can close your eyes. What do you see? Vision. Start planning for the future.
Yeah.
If you can see it, if you can vision it, we can build it.
Yeah. What an exciting time, eh?
It's very exciting. Very exciting.
Like, how many people get to wake up and then just realize, hey, we can actually build a country?
Yes.
We
can be like the forefathers and put forward something great for our children and our grandchildren for the future.
Yeah.
And I come from a long history of pioneers.
Yeah.
They hit Boston in 1631. They came up to, so that's before the U.S. was a country.
Yeah.
Before Canada was a country, they came up with the Loyalists.
Yeah.
They came across to Alberta before Alberta was a province.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a page out of my ancestors' books.
Yeah.
And we got to be free.
Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom loving.
What's the one? Faith,
freedom,
family.
Faith, family, freedom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm actually really proud of the Alberta Prosperity Project branded themselves that way. At first I was like, okay, well, that's kind of taking a stand. But if you don't take a stand on something, then you stand for nothing. And so we're standing for something here. We're all coming together. Yes. Like, I would have never met you if this wasn't happening. What a cool thing, eh?
My dad always said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Fall for anything.
And if you don't speak now,
yeah.
you're making a choice.
Forever hold your peace.
Yes, forever hold your peace. But actually, a non-statement, a non-signature is a choice.
Yeah. It's also a statement.
It is.
Yeah. So that's a really good thing to say to the people in the middle on this. It's like, this is it. You speak up now. We're not getting a second shake at this.
This is our hill.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's stand a line somewhere.
Yeah. And there are real risks to staying in Canada too. We haven't even talked about those. Like there's, I want to get off of this train that our country's heading down, this dystopian train. That's
our forefathers built a Judeo-Christian society, and Mark Carney is driving us to a civic society.
Yeah.
And if you want to know what that means, check it out.
Yeah.
Get informed.
Yeah.
Make your voice heard.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest hurdle, is for people to be informed and make the choice to be informed beyond what you're seeing on mainstream media.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube, listen to people, and know what you're against or for.
Yeah. Yeah, get informed, right? So, wow, this is such a good conversation.
This is how we're doing it. We're getting together and we're having these talks with everybody so that everybody can make their own choice. But it's nothing to sign a pledge. So get out, everybody in Alberta. Sign the pledge. Get informed. You've got time. If you don't agree with us next October, don't vote.
Don't vote. And one of the things I was thinking is, like, this is happening, what we're doing right here. People are sitting around all across Alberta.
Yes.
Thousands of us are having these little conversations. You're not seeing it on TV. There's very few people recording it. I think I might be the only one.
Thank goodness.
But like, this is happening everywhere. Everywhere I go, people are having these conversations. We're changing. Something's changing in this province. This can happen.
We need
change.
Yes, we need change.
We've all changed over this.
We've been 120 years, right? 120 years, girls. Alberta has been the cash cow for the rest of Canada.
Yeah.
And it is time for our voices, our votes, and our freedoms to be ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good kind of thing to kind of end this conversation on then. Do you want to say one more thing for the camera?
Get out and vote. It's just a pledge, Alberta.
Yeah.
Let all your neighbors and everybody else have the opportunity to create something good for us.
Wow.
Everybody better get on board, because it's not a bad train we're going on.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, and you will reap what you will sow.
Ooh. That's a really good one. I don't have anything really smart to say. I'm just going to say thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Take care.
Oh, that's such a good conversation.